Chapter 3: The Way It Works. Ernest Holmes, in his book, The Science of Mind, reminds us that we all wish to be happy. We all wish to be well. We all wish to be successful. We all wish to be loved. We all wish to express life, beauty, and goodness in the highest possible degree. He goes on to say, this desire, which is inherent in every living soul, is back of every act and thought, whether it be a conscious or unconscious act or thought. The laws of life, the laws of the universe, the laws of consciousness. Call it what you will, it's all the same thing. How does it work? Well, Ernest Holmes says God is a circle whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. The life principle is infinite. It is eternal. It is immortal, and it finds a center in each living soul. So each individual represents a point in universal consciousness, an individualized center of God consciousness. Each individual is a unique expression of the infinite mind. Each is an individualized center of God consciousness. Now this sounds very profound and mystical, but really it's quite simple. Each of us has the capacity to connect with the infinite intelligence. We are connected with it at all times. We live in it. We are immersed in an infinite intelligence. It is not something that we must strain after or search for, but something which is already here, already within us, already operating through us. So then how does it work? Well, Ernest Holmes tells us that we live in an infinite ocean of energy and power and creativity. He says it is not a question of whether or not we shall use this law, but whether we shall use it consciously and constructively or unconsciously and destructively. So the key here is consciousness. Are we going to be aware of the power that is within us and around us? Or are we going to remain unconscious of it? Because whatever we think about, whatever we focus on, whatever we believe to be true, that is how we experience life. So if we are going to make positive changes in our lives, if we are going to manifest our desires, we have to first change our thinking. We have to shift our beliefs. We have to transform our consciousness. So let's take a closer look. The thoughts we think and the ideas we accept tend to become real for us. As Emerson said, the ancestor of every action is a thought. Thought precedes experience, just as the word precedes the form. So our thoughts precede our experiences. Whatever we think about, whatever we focus on, whatever we believe to be true, that is how we experience life. So if we want to experience something new, something different, we have to change our thinking. We have to shift our beliefs. We have to transform our consciousness. And this is not just a one-time fix. This is a practice. This is a way of life. Like anything else in life, it takes practice to master the art of thinking positively, to train the mind to believe in good, to expect success, to affirm health, and to know the power of truth. But here's the good news. It gets easier with practice. Just like you wouldn't expect to lift a weight for the first time and be able to lift it with ease. Yet with practice, your muscles become stronger and it becomes easier to lift that weight. In the same way, your ability to think rightly, to believe greatly, and to expect good can be exercised and strengthened with practice. And remember, whenever you stumble, whenever you fall into old patterns of thinking, just pick yourself up and start again. Don't get discouraged. Don't beat yourself up. Just start again. Your goal is not perfection, but progress. Ernest Holmes tells us that the result of using the law of mind is seen in the outer world as improvement, healing, success, and happiness. But he warns us not to think of the law as being separate from ourselves. We are the law in action. We do not create the law. We use it. He tells us we are surrounded by an infinite possibility. The possibility becomes a probability in the field of mental action, and it becomes a reality in the field of experience. Now this is a very important concept. We have the potential for creating our reality, but that potential only becomes a reality when we act upon it. It is not enough to merely wish for something, or to pray for it. We must also take action towards it. The law of attraction tells us that like attracts like. Whatever we put into the universe comes back to us. If we send out thoughts of fear and worry, we will attract experiences that cause us to feel fearful and worried. On the other hand, if we send out thoughts of love and gratitude, we will attract experiences that cause us to feel loved and grateful. Ernest Holmes tells us that the universe is impersonal and gives to all alike. It is not a respecter of persons, but it is responsive to our thought. So the universe doesn't care who we are or what we believe. It simply responds to our thoughts. Now this can be a source of great comfort to us, because it means that we are not at the mercy of external circumstances. We are not at the mercy of other people. We are not at the mercy of fate or destiny. We have the power to create our own experiences. Here's another important concept that Ernest Holmes teaches us. He says the world is beginning to realize that it has learned all it should through suffering and pain. We are now entering into an era of spiritual awareness. where people no longer seek truth only through hardship, but instead begin to realize that thought is creative. That belief is powerful, and that faith is not just wishful thinking, but it's a law. We are beginning to awaken to the fact that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, rather than human beings trying to have a spiritual experience. We are beginning to realize that we are creators, that we have the power to co-create with the universe. Let me summarize the main points that we've discussed. First, thought is creative. Whatever we think about, whatever we focus on, whatever we believe to be true, that is how we experience life. Second, the law of mind responds to belief. Our beliefs create our reality. We can choose to believe in good or in evil, in success or in failure, in health or in sickness, but whatever we choose to believe in, that is what we will experience. Third, the universe reflects what we embody, not just what we want. It is not enough to merely want something or to desire it. We must embody it, we must live it, we must be it. If we want to experience love, we must embody love. If we want to experience success, we must embody success. If we want to experience health, we must embody health. Fourth, we are always using this power. The choice is whether we use it consciously or unconsciously. We can choose to use the law of mind consciously by becoming aware of our thoughts and beliefs, and by choosing to think positively and believe in good. Or we can use it unconsciously by allowing our minds to wander, and by believing in negative thoughts and feelings. Fifth, there is no limitation except what we accept. We are not limited by external circumstances. We are not limited by other people. We are not limited by fate or destiny. We are limited only by our own beliefs. If we choose to believe that we are limited, then we will be limited. But if we choose to believe that we are unlimited, then we will be unlimited. So, in summary, Ernest Holmes teaches us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we have the power to create our own experiences through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. By becoming aware of our thoughts and beliefs and by choosing to think positively and believe in good, we can create a life that we desire. It takes practice, it takes dedication, it takes commitment, but it is possible. Remember the words of Jesus, "It is done unto you as you believe." Choose to believe in love and you will experience love. Choose to believe in success and you will experience success. Choose to believe in good and you will experience good. Choose to believe in health and you will experience health. For as Ernest Holmes says, the universe is the doer. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified of new videos.